Hello, and welcome to ScrapTV, the video forum for the ISRI and Scrap Magazine websites. I'm Kent Kaiser, your ScrapTV host, and today I'm here with Ron Sherga, CEO of EcoStrate, based in Arlington, Texas. Ron is here today because EcoStrate is the recipient of the 2017 Design for Recycling Award. First off, welcome, Ron.
Thank you for having me, and I'm very excited.
Well, thanks for joining me, and congratulations on the award.
Oh, it's just, it's just amazing. I mean, well, one, because where it's coming from, and the group that presenting it to us is extremely impactful. I mean, it's a validation and recognition by not just peers, but just people who've been beyond peers, generational companies. It's really impressive. So.
All right. Well, now, can you tell me in layperson's terms what EcoStrate and its products are all about?
Sure. We set out, I saw so many different recycling processes around the world, most of which, in my opinion, weren't working or required so much energy that, quite frankly, they were negative to the environment and the impact. And everybody assumes recycling is green, and many times it isn't. It isn't always green. And I said, why are we spending so much time and energy trying to extract and disassemble these values that have been put into materials when they were put there for a reason? And how can I find applications and combinations of materials that enhance the already embedded value? So I knew they were struggling with e-scrap plastics. I looked at that, and I know how long many of them existed in the marketplace and the additives put in. So I thought, let me incorporate those. Carpet was another product that was a massive problem, as are textiles that are becoming more and more recognized as a problem. And packaging waste is probably one of the fastest growing plastic issues in the world. And so I said, well, I'm going to start working and mixing and matching and doing some things together and see what I come up with. And came up with some very, very impactful composite products that were also aesthetically pleasing, but also performed at extremely high levels, which we've had validated by various and numerous third-party testing labs and industry. So.
Interesting. Well, now, I know that EcoStrate's production process is proprietary, but what can you tell us about it and what made it different?
Well, I affectionately call it a polymer panini. Quite frankly, because we do take various different materials and using a variety of sizes and heats and pressure profiles, we combine them. And we make panels. Right now we're limited to more panel type shapes, but we have done some further more three-dimensional type applications. But right now we're focused on our materials as substrates. Here again, some of our applications are sublayer and signage and flooring for lamination and a variety of other applications. So.
Okay, excellent. Well, how and when did you come up with the idea for EcoStrate? I mean, how long ago, and was there a story behind really a Eureka moment or something?
Well, there was a little bit of a Eureka moment, actually. I had been just mixing and matching with a variety of processes, and I was in somebody's lab, and then I was reading through some literature. I just love reading about our industry. I've been involved in it my whole life. And I just started thinking, why is everybody doing this? I'm going to try something real simple. Ha, 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 let's see if it works. So a guy had a piece of lab equipment. I said, do you mind if I borrow this, and if I break it, I'll pay you back? That, Ron, it's actually, you can have it. Just tinker with it. So I did some modification, put some things in. And when I made this product, I remember just thinking, oh, well, I'm going to shatter this. I remember putting on safety glasses and knocking it against something. And I was like, this isn't breaking. This should be breaking. And it didn't break.
Oh.
And it was pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. So that was kind of the aha, and then I thought, well, I'm going to do some research. I'd already done a few patents, written them, and the more I kept going and going and going, and I sat down with a number of patent lawyers and other people and said, you have something very unique here too. And then we reached out to a couple of other large corporations. We had their research and IP teams look at it and validate it as well, one of which would happen to be DuPont.
Wow.
So yeah, so.
Very interesting. And how many years ago was this?
It was a little around almost 3 years. 3 years seems like only 10, but it's been, taking an idea and trying to commercialize it is extremely challenging, and I didn't recognize quite how challenging it would be.
Well, obviously you're succeeding on some level at least.
And we are, so thank you.
That's exciting.
It is.
Now, can you just go over again, you mentioned briefly the types of scrap materials that EcoStrate targets and also the products that you found that use best end use for?
Sure. Well, I think one of the challenges, especially in e-scrap plastics, are some of the flame retardant capabilities, some other materials that are put in there. And so we find applications where those flame retardant capabilities are needed. So rather than exposing them or creating any more toxicity or into the environment or high levels of energy and further chemicals to neutralize them, we're able to preserve those and with other materials to enhance their strength in a variety of ways and find end uses that really need that. So we also eliminate the need to create further FR materials because they really haven't gotten to the point where they're coming up with a lot of really effective materials yet. And our products last for a long time. They don't degrade into the environment really. So yeah, and there's really very little or no off-gassing at all. And so that's, yeah, so that's exciting. So.
Very good. And what kind of acceptance in the market have you found for your products?
Well, you know, it's funny, our first thing, we went after the high-hanging fruit, which is counterintuitive, but we looked at certain large markets because I think the challenge for all of us really here is, right, large-scale waste, very few small, it's mostly small-scale solutions. So we wanted to be disruptive, and that all sounds real good, disruptive, until you are. And so we got a lot of negative pushback, the law of unintended consequences. But we persevered, and we had a lot of third-party testing done. And it really validated us. Even people who were naysayers circled back and said, wow, this is impressive. We really, we're shocked. We actually had people say, we're shocked at the performance of your products.
It seems like the markets you've gone into have very strict standards you have to meet.
They do, and I understand some of that, but we enhance safety. Like the traffic market's all about safety. So by eliminating metal theft, by enhancing and prolonging the life of the reflective surface, you improve safety too, because a missing sign is the most dangerous sign there is. Obviously, a stolen stop sign creates horrible problems. But insurance rates go up for all of us. It's a $1 billion theft problem. And so we address that. We also open up markets in developing nations. Our technology is simple. Developing nations, traffic deaths are one of the 5 leading causes of death. And so they can't even put signs up because even the metal signs get stolen before they're installed. The trucks get hijacked just for the metal. So we also know that what we source, the prime materials we use, are available in every country of the world. Every country of the world generates e-scrap, textile waste, and even some packaging waste. So that's kind of nice to know that we can regionalize this and globalize it, and that's what we hope to do.
Very interesting. How about what kind of projections you have for the company from here in terms of growth, or anything you want to talk about in terms of how you expect it to grow in the next few years?
Well, quite frankly, we see this award as a huge catalyst for our growth. I mean, we think to get this kind of recognition from a group like ESRI is extremely impactful. We think it's the fulcrum and really the leverage that we feel we'll have. And you know, a lot of big companies look at small companies and think, okay, they talk about innovation, right? They talk about new things, but they think innovation's a $100 million company. Innovation's really in a garage. Innovation's in a shed. Innovation's in the early stages. And so we are challenging some of those companies, and an award like this validates us, because I can tell you the process was, it was, I don't want to call it arduous, but let me make it akin to a root canal. But a positive root canal to get to the problem. So we liked it because we were really, really challenged by our peers and those who knew the questions to ask. And so, yeah, we see this. We see our growth taking off. I mean, we're discussing licensing with companies because we want to work with those who've already put in a lot of infrastructure, because here again, that's a positive influence. Why recreate the wheel? Sure. Why duplicate resources when other people have that, but they struggle within markets for their materials, especially the e-recyclers, e-companies. They really are challenged by that, right? Sure. And so we see that as part of our deal. We want to be a solution partner in Transform. We think that's extremely, and here again, this really points to the partnership, and fingers crossed. I mean, we're actually getting ready and out there looking for institutional strategic partners.
Excellent. Now, how about, did you just open a plant, or what's the status of your production operations at this point?
We had a plant in Southern California that was fine. It was okay, but it had been really what I call very small-scale commercial. And then we started having discussions with a group actually in Northern California called SafePath, and they focus on ADA products, which is really important for us. That's something near and dear personally to our family. We had a daughter with disabilities, but that community has been important for us. And so he loved our process, and the process we provided enhanced his capabilities to make better product. So he reached out to us, Tim Vanderheiden, and said, hey, look, let's collaborate. Let's work together. So we shifted our equipment there. We're still getting it bigger and putting it in, and we need large-scale equipment. Right now, we're a little limited. We need to get to the 4-foot by 8-foot size panels, kind of a universally accepted size, and that's our focus to accomplish over the next 6 months.
Nice. Okay.
It's exciting.
Excellent. As a wrap-up question for you here, Ron, does EcoStrate have anything else on the drawing board now that you care to tell us about? Any little sneak peek into the company's future plans?
Yes, I will share that a little bit.
All right. This is an exclusive.
Well, I think an area, building products are looked at, but and it's kind of a sad niche, but there's a niche that's becoming less of a niche, and that's for products that offer anti-blast and anti-ballistic capabilities. Government buildings all require it. I think there is a sad attention being given. I think, you even have markets called like the prepper market where people are really even preparing their homes for safety, and even signage that we can help mitigate an intrusion through a door, if it can be on a door. So yeah, we've developed some interesting prototypes for anti-ballistic. And our flooring products, which is right here. Flooring is a huge market for us. A huge market. And so we're really looking for some interested partners in there. So
very exciting.
It is very exciting. So.
Well, thank you for being here with us today, Ron. We really appreciate it, and congratulations again on the award.
Thank you so much.
Great
Thank you
job.
for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Really happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Ken Kaiser for ScrapTV. Thank you for joining us here, and until next time, I'm signing off.